Hey everyone, and welcome. If you're gearing up for the SSC MTS exam, you are in the right place. In just the next few minutes, we're going to break down the key questions from the recent second shift paper. Why? So we can spot the patterns that'll help you absolutely crush your own exam. Let's dive right in.
So here's our game plan for today. We're going to kick things off with some crucial questions on the Constitution. Then we'll jump into a mix of history, science, and culture. After that, we'll build a super focused study guide from what we've learned and wrap it all up with one final key takeaway. Super simple, right? Let's go.
All right, first up, let's tackle the questions on the Indian Constitution and governance. You know this is always a huge part of the exam, and this time was definitely no different.
Okay, so here's the first one that actually popped up. It's all about the concurrent list. How many subjects are on it right now? Take a quick second. What do you think? 47, 50, 52, or 61?
If you said 52, you nailed it. But wait, here's the really important part. Look at that extra detail on the slide. Originally, there were only 47. That's a classic trick for a follow-up question, so knowing both of these numbers is just smart prep.
Let's look at another one, this time hitting on fundamental rights. The question is, which article gives you the freedom to manage religious affairs? This just goes to show you've really got to know your specific articles for this exam.
And the answer is Article 26. Now, the trick here isn't just memorizing one number. It's about understanding the context. You see, Article 26 is part of a whole family of articles, from 25 all the way to 28, that deal with freedom of religion. If you can remember them as a group, it's so much easier.
Okay, let's switch gears and move on to our next section. We're about to jump into a quick-fire quiz with questions from history, culture, and science that all made an appearance on the paper. First up in the quiz, a little bit of history mixed with literature. Who wrote the book Hind Swaraj? You know, important books and their authors. This is a topic that comes up again and again. So this is a perfect example of what to be ready for.
The right answer is, of course, Mahatma Gandhi. But hold on, don't just move on. Look at this. This is where you get those extra marks. The other options are tied to huge works too. You've got Nehru with Discovery of India, Tagore with Gitanjali, and Tilak with Kesari. Knowing all four of these, that's a game changer.
Next up, a question from Indian culture. The Kajari folk dance. What state is it from? Now, if you've been keeping an eye on recent exams, you probably had a feeling a question like this was coming, right? It's a must-study topic.
And the answer is Uttar Pradesh. But here's the real headline. The source for this analysis made it crystal clear. Questions on folk dances are showing up in every single shift. That's not a hint, people. That's a bright, flashing sign telling you exactly what to study.
Okay, this next one is super interesting because it clears up a really common point of confusion. There was a question about the Durgapur steel plant. The correct answer, as you can see, is that it was built with help from the UK. The one built with support from the USSR, which is now Russia, was the Belay steel plant. It's so easy to mix those two up, so this slide sets the record straight.
So, we've looked at the questions, we've seen the patterns. Now for the most important part, what does this actually mean for your study plan? Let's pull it all together into a clear, simple guide.
Based on what the exam is telling us, these are the topics that pop up over and over again. We're talking folk dances, important books and authors, constitutional articles, especially the fundamental rights, major parts of Indian history like the Harappan civilization, and some basic science concepts. This isn't just a guess, folks. This is a data-driven roadmap to focus your study time.
Let's circle back to that very first question about the constitutional lists, because there's more gold to mine here. This table breaks it all down beautifully. Just look at how the numbers have changed over time for all three lists, union, state, and concurrent. If you understand this whole table, you're ready for any version of this question they throw at you.
And when it comes to the articles, if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed, start with these. Think of these as the absolute VIPs. You've got Article 14 on equality, Article 17 getting rid of untouchability, Article 29 protecting minorities, and the big one, Article 32, the right to remedies. These are non-negotiable must-knows.
So, we've broken it all down. What's the one big idea, the single most important thing you should walk away with today?
Here it is, plain and simple. This exam is not trying to catch you out with random, obscure facts. It consistently tests your core knowledge on a handful of recurring themes. The path to success isn't about knowing a little bit of everything. It's about deeply understanding these high-frequency topics we've just talked about.
And that pretty much wraps it up. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about.
Now that you can see the pattern so clearly, which one of these key topics are you going to dive into first? Making that decision right now is the first step to turning this analysis into real action. Thanks so much for joining me.